Alright, my name is Susan Kennedy, and watercolor artist. I'm laying in a floral. This is, I think, the second video on this, so I won't go through explaining the layout of the composition, but it's just basically a loosey, washy kind of a watercolor I'm trying to work on here. It's going to be a garden setting, some roses. These are some of my photos of roses that I'm kind of using as a little bit of inspiration, but actually I'm taking from several photos. And you can see I've tried to lay in with my 1-inch flat some darker background behind the roses to make them come forward. That's ultramarine blue mixed with alizarin crimson and a little bit of sap green. I'm back to my pale shadow color that I'm making the shadows of the roses with. It is quinacridone red and cobalt blue, a little bit of permanent yellow. I'm trying to make some of those areas in between the roses now. I think I'm going to, of necessity, add some green in there, a little sap green. There we go, a little bit of burnt sienna and yellow in there. What I'm trying to do when I lay this out is to make a composition out of the shadows, just to have a skeleton for the painting in a network of interconnected shadows. To me, a painting just is going to hang together better. This is a shadow between the rose and the leaf. And it'll make the whole piece hang together better if you start out with a good composition of shadows that way. This is Arches cold pressed watercolor paper, which is a wonderful paper. You may have seen some of my videos where I'm trying to use Frederick's watercolor canvas, and it is nice. It's a really neat ground to use, but it's a different feeling. It's more spontaneous a look and washy. You can't, when the wash is dry, when you're using something like hot press paper or watercolor canvas, you can't really disturb those washes a whole lot. Whereas in the cold press paper like this, it has more tooth. You can see a texture to the paper, and it also absorbs the paint a little bit more and holds on to it a little bit more. When you come back with later washes, they're not going to get disturbed as much. Okay. I'll come back later, and you can see I've got a bloom going on there. Don't particularly want that right there, although sometimes I like them. I'll come back more later. Check me out at susankennedy.com, and thanks for looking.